You dropped a tail feather there, mate, ain't you? Hey? Clever boy, ain't you? Hey? Clever boy, Woody, ain't you? You alright, Woody? You're doing good, ain't you, mate? Hey? It's one of your feathers. That is. It's one of your feathers, mate. Tail feathers coming down nicely. On there. Are you following me around? Hey? Been molting quite well, Woody. I think this is his 5th tail feather now, and he's done a few primaries and secondaries, quite a few contours and all. But it's a learning process this for me, so I'm always looking at stuff. I always have done. If I don't know something, I try and find out. And there was one of the particular feathers that I was interested in was called the it's called the Alula, or plural Alulae. I believe that's the correct terminology. Or it can be called bastard wing, and it's sat right here, and you can see it when the hawk is coming down to land or against some wind, and it just seems to protrude. So here's a picture of it on my hawk coming in. Whilst I was having a look at to see what these things were, I realised that this has evolved not only on some hawks but insects as well. They actually have an alula. As you can see here, it's going to have a rouse now. I always like to see that. So some insects have them, some don't, so it's evolved in other species. Interesting thing about these bird wings is they have a humerus bone, the same as we do. They have an ulna and a radius, and similar bones in their what you might call hands. And on the thumb, which would be their thumb, is this little feather, or some, I think there might be 2 or 3. I'm not exactly sure, but it's certainly from the thumb, called the bastard wing as a slang word, or Alula. So in the human evolutionary terms of aerospace and flight, this particular system is used for flight on aircraft, and normally slotted front of wings, and it's to produce some sort of control to enable an aircraft not to stall in slow flight. The same with these hawks that have these alula. They can have a slow flight and use them to control that particular flight, giving positive or negative pressure over and under the wing. So it's interesting when you get different things in life, you can just have them and not really learn about them, or you can learn about them. And just in the fact that I've been looking into bone structure of birds now, I've always been interested in wildlife and stuff like that, but during this Harris hawk care, I'll call it, rather than ownership, because all I'm doing is looking after him. I've learned quite a bit about structures of different things. So in looking at this particular feather, which they call Alula or Alula, during the study of this Alula, I didn't realise that insects had this particular feather, or not feather, but wing. So whilst I was looking at insects, in the UK we have a little insect called an earwig. Now I had no idea that this little creature, the earwig, had wings. Now as a child we used to play around with these things, and the pinchers used to get you if you weren't careful. I had no idea they had wings, so the Harris hawk has showed me something else in nature. Now their wings on the earwig, although they haven't got these particular Alula or bastard insect wing, they have got a system of folding their wing to 10 times smaller than it is when it is out. So it folds up, folds up, folds up, because their wing case is quite small. And funnily enough, that NASA have been looking at all this stuff. So NASA have been using some of the ideas from nature, the same as we do for aircraft, using that wing slit on the front leading edge from birds. NASA are using this folding idea that insects do for folding up the solar panels on some of the satellites. It's quite amazing really what you learn as you go. If we look here on the wing, we've got these feathers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, one missing. There's a little pin there, that's the start of a new one coming down, and as that grows in the blood, then the sheath on the end of it slowly deteriorates and the bird's preening, and then you get the little feathers coming out, and that's what produces that feather. So that's called a pin feather there. Don't think he's got any more that we can see.